The HH Concrete 305 Asphalt Sprint Car Series is on the air, live from the Bristol Motor Speedway. It's the Loud Pedal Productions 100. This broadcast being brought to you by Loud Pedal Productions. You can find them on their Facebook page. You got a promotional video you need done for your iRacing team, Loud Pedal Productions is where you want to be. Troy Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight, joined with me by my longtime partner in crime, my brother from another mother, Mr. Killian Sandalwood. Killian, how the hell are you?
I'm doing great here, but I'm really worried for these guys tonight.
And rightly so. Yeah, that's something that we've seen all night long during the hot lap session. High banks and high stagger don't get along, and it's something we've talked about in the past with this series. Is unfortunately iRacing doesn't let you fiddle a lot with the stagger. And these guys are running the mandatory minimum from iRacing of 8 inches. Whereas with the pavement non-wing sprint car, when you bring it here, you're talking maybe an inch.
Yeah.
So, you know, these guys are, it's a handful, as you can see. And the other thing that we're noticing too is, you know, these cars are really kicking the sparks up coming through the corners.
I've been watching that, Tony, and one of the other areas that the sparks are coming from is that right rear Watts linkage.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was figuring, and you know where I was figuring it was coming from was that bottom connector on the Watts link. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's what centers the rear axle in the car, and it looks like a giant W.
Yeah, that's when it's straight.
When it's straight, it looks like a giant W. If it's not straight,
it can look like one of those big overstuffed pretzels.
Pretty much, yeah. And you know, one of the downsides to the way it's set up, and one of the downsides to running this car on a high bank track is getting the spring rates to where it'll pass the iRacing obligatory tach and still let you run it. But as we watch the 17 go into the corner, you can just see, I'm thinking part of that's Nerf bar too. No, that's higher than the Nerf. Well, that might be the bottom support on the Nerf bar. There's a lot of frame. You could see it there.
Yeah. As
these guys go into the corner, that right front just loads right up. I'm thinking that there's gonna be a ton of new frames on order from the manufacturers after this one.
They just pull up the dumpster, the scrap metal dumpster after this race.
Yeah, because if there's an oil pan left on any of these cars, it'll be a miracle.
Oh, there might be an oil pan, but that might be the only salvageable piece.
No, because you got to remember where the oil pan sits on these. The bottom of the oil pan is even with the bottom of the bottom frame rail. Yeah.
So, what do you predict for the over-under on the yellows tonight?
I'm not going to predict the over-under on the yellows. I'm going to predict the over-under that of the 23 that are scheduled to start, there's going to be a lot of carnage. I'm going to say at least once half the field's going to get wrecked.
Ouch.
But, and that's not a slight against the drivers, because I've seen these guys drive. We saw them drive last week at Martinsville, and they put on a hell of a show. It's just the combination of this car at this track, you're flirting with disaster. And it's because how banked this track is and how tight this track is. There's nowhere to hide at the last Great Coliseum.
Well, I've been watching the lap time so far, and Luchik, how you pronounce his name, I hope, Derek, he's at 16:09.4. He is quick time so far.
He's quick time so far, but if you take a look, the top 5 are separated by less than a tenth, with Wade Husted in the number 15, currently sitting 5th quick, is exactly 1/10 of a second back. Your top 10 are less than 2/10, which is not a lot.
Ooh.
But you can definitely tell that there is a difference between the haves and have-nots here tonight, as once you get past 10th, there's a noticeable drop-off in the times. But there's groupings. So you've got, your top 5, then your second 5, and then
you got your
throw a
16,
blanket. Throw a blanket from 10th to 20th are separated by less than half a time.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are math majors, I don't care. There's going to be some close quarters action tonight, and it's not going to take long. From what I've seen, it's not going to take long for the leaders to get into lap traffic.
I know.
So. But you are watching a presentation of Bofa Broadcasting. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. This, of course, is the HH Concrete 305 Sprint Series. The Loud Pedal Productions 100 from Bristol.
And like we always say, Tony, thank God these are digital.
Yes, thank God this is a simulator. And we saw that a couple times last night, too, at Knoxville. It was one of those, well, Doc, the last thing I remember was Dirt Sky, waking up in the hospital looking at a pretty nurse sticking me with a needle. Because at that point, you don't even get a chance to remember the ambulance. Now, one thing I did learn last week, and it was something that we had wondered. On the dirt side of things, there's not tire wear, but the tires do collect heat, and as you and I both well know from the real life, the hotter you get a race tire, the less traction it gets. There's a point where you get to the optimal temperature, and then once you, holy Christmas.
Yeah. It'll stop bouncing once in a minute.
Once you get a racing tire up to its optimal temperature, anything past that, and you might just as well throw water under the car.
Well, that was like today at the real Bristol.
No comment.
It was a grand total of about 40 degrees at race time.
Well, it beats, what was it, 10 years ago now that they had the snowball fight?
Yeah.
But I dare say that we're going to see just about every one of these drivers coming down pit road every chance they get to get fresh tires put on this thing. As hot laps come to an end, we're getting ready to fire it off for qualifying. You can follow along with us on the ticker at the top of the page. As we're following along right now with Dave Callahan in the 05, who we just saw take a wicked Mr. Toad's Wild Ride there. And there goes the first one. How about Bruce Hilton as Trent Goodrow puts up the first one. Jamie Russell now going quick time. Goodrow gets it back with a 16.3. There's Galuski.
Cars have taken time so far.
18 cars have taken time, and unfortunately, this whole solo qualifying thing is a little bit difficult to follow. There's the 116 taking her pit side. Hatchick cranking one off right now in the P-Core 084. Goodrow, Schneider. I'm not even going to try it. Derek, I'm sorry. And Dale and Henry rounding out your top 5. There's Dave Hayne in the Dirt Devil Texaco 28. Going 7th quick. Nate Anderson rolling out on the track right now. Let's, you know what? I'm being told by the boys in the booth we've actually got a helmet cam on Nate. So let's take a look and see what it looks like out on the track right now. As you can hear, Nate really working the throttle, working the steering wheel.
Schneider with a...
That's good enough for 11th quick. As
got to be at a 16.3. Get in the top 5.
Well, here's the thing. I already got told that we're not taking the whole field.
We got 22 cars, 23 cars taking time.
Right. And there's over 30 in the session. And there's only enough time to really bust one off. So I'm thinking some of these guys are going home.
We can start, what, 24?
I think they said they were starting 24.
Well, only 23 of them have taken official time.
Then that's probably all we're going to be starting. So... about 14 seconds left in qualifying. We're going to take a look at the results here. Goodrow going quick time. Schneider, Gluchecki.
Yeah, that's what the one I tried to pronounce before.
Yeah. Well then, let's see how many actually are going to be starting here. We get to be surprised together. So Trent Goodrow going to start up on point. Unofficial track record of 16.343. He's going to be starting next to Nick Schneider. Row number 2 is going to go to Derek in the 21. Derek, I'm sorry. I don't want to mispronounce it. He's going to be starting with Matt Dow in the 11. Row 3 is going to see Mike Henry and Mark Bremkamp. Jackson Bishop and David Hain are going to be going off in row number 4. Row 5 is going to see Colin Penn and Jason Griffith. With row 6 going to Nate Anderson and Tom Carberry. Chris Monroe and Jamie Russell going to make up row number 7, with row 8 going to Jeff Conover and Steve Allison. George Smith and Wally Beatty make up row 9.
They start to roll off.
Row 10, Bruce Hilton and Mike Hackett. And we're not sure if all these guys are going to be actually starting. Looks like they are. I'm impressed. So looks like David Callahan and Robert Smith and Gary Beaver and Wade Husted in row 12, and I believe Husted is not starting. So 23 cars starting this one. Beaver, the last car to get a chance to run for the money tonight. $15 on the line in iRacing credits. $100 laps of scheduled distance, and we are going to see pit stops because these guys are only starting with 3 gallons in the tank. From there, they can add as much as they want. And I dare say that we're probably going to see only a handful of laps as lights are out on the pace car. Here we go, coming through the 3-4 complex. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on, boys, get it through that first turn.
Everybody rolling into the throttle. And the sparks are flying at the last great Coliseum as we are underway.
So far, so good. Well, now we got through the first lap.
We got through the first lap as these guys are trying to get single file as quickly as they can, as we've got some blinkers already starting. Goodrow showing the way in the Valvoline Curb Records number 6.
We got somebody right to the bottom already. The green and black car.
I'm thinking these guys are going to do well to take a page out of everybody else's book that has run there this week and go to that second line and try to keep the car wound up a little bit on the high side, as we do have some takers going down pit road already.
Well, I was noticing.
Colin Penn, Matt Dell, Bruce Hilton, Wally Beatty bringing it in. So these guys are going a lap down early. Henry, Carberry, Allison, and Beaver all coming in. So 6 laps in, we're seeing the first takers to go down pit road. I'm thinking these guys are probably, there we go, bringing it down with some force right now, trying to get it woed down. Jackson Bishop stays out in that Buffalo Wild Wings number 22, and it sounds like he's out of gas. Oh, that could come back to bite him hard. Let the games begin. Goodrow still in the pits. You got to wonder what type of pit strategy these guys are using.
And how different these cars are going to be if they take a full load.
Well, judging from the pit times, I'm thinking everybody took at least 10 gallons. As far as tires go, I'm not sure if they took tires or not. I didn't see anybody's car get jacked up. Goodrow back to the point. The 21 right on his back bumper. That's about your only battle right now, as everybody else is strung out worse than Courtney Love. Well, no, I take that back. There's your battle for 6th. Jamie Russell in the 27 wants it. Everybody else, or has it. Everybody else wants it.
Guys are clicking the laps right off, though.
You guys are clicking the laps right off, and I'm wondering if it's me that's glitching or if it's everyone else. And I'm not sure which, so...
I've seen a few blinkers out there.
Bear with me, folks, as I'm trying to get this fixed here.
Yellow flag is out.
Yellow. Yellow. As the boys start to whoa them up.
Well, let's see what happened to David Hayne. Just got it all wrong coming out of turn number 4, and Tommy Tipover, thank goodness this is a simulator and I've got a wing, gets back on his wheels and off he goes.
Tell their driver to hit the pace car so they can be perfect.
Well, there's probably some, what's the phrase I'm looking for here? Sarcasm in that one?
Yes.
So we saw drivers go down pit road on lap 6. I'm wondering who's going to take tires now that pit road is open. Your leader is not. Looks like everybody else is going to stay out for a little bit. And you'll notice everybody's off the racing line trying to cool those tires off. And it looks like the only one taking it pit side is going to be David Hayne in the 28. So of the 23 cars that started, all 23 still running. Albeit a handful of cars a lap down or so. Killian, do we want to talk to anybody up there on the track?
Go for it. Get a track report.
Who do we want to talk to? Oh, let's see. Who do we have? Let's talk to your 4th place driver. We're going to reach out to Matt Dale to try to get an in-race report right now. Matt, Tony up in the booth. You got me, sir?
Yeah, man, I got you.
So, how's the car feeling out there? Is it as scary down there on the track as it looks from up here in the booth?
It's not bad, really. I mean, you just got to be easy with it. Can't put much wheel into it. Input.
Fair enough. You know, is the tire fall off is as bad as it seemed last week at Martinsville? Or can you tell yet?
I didn't race Martinsville, but I think the fuel outweighs the tire more than anything, and honestly, I prefer a hotter tire than cold.
Fair enough. Best of luck to you, Matt. We'll let you get back up to it.
User was moved out of your channel.
So Matt Dale currently sitting up there.
That's interesting, though, that he prefers the tires hotter.
Well, I can kind of understand that, being as I've driven the pavement side of the sprint car, and that thing's scary on cold tires. Like,
yeah.
Literally, you're white-knuckled on a set of cold tires in the pavement sprint car. I can only imagine what it's like trying to drive this thing on cold tires. So Goodrow,
Overcrown car is just like, no.
Killian, how did you say you were pronouncing the 21?
Yeah, Jackie.
Well, pace car's in.
Green flag, green flag.
Goodrow pulls the trigger. And Schneider and Dell slugging it out right now. Dale on that high side that we saw all the full fender guys take. Able to keep it a little wound up so you don't have to put quite as much wheel into it. Doesn't look like it's working as well in these. Whoa, the 116 and Nick Schneider gets all into the back of the 21 there. Schneider sideways, the 78 of Bremkamp has to take evasive action to stay off him.
Oh!
Hang on to her, kid. It was Jamie Russell with a hell of a save.
I thought we were going to have our next caution flag on that one.
I think so did everybody behind him, as there is now a big gap.
Yellow flag is out.
There it is.
Whoa!
Arca!
And another tumbler down the chute.
Let's go back and take a look at what happened to Nick Schneider.
Wow.
It's like he just overcooked it into one. That was net code. Plain and simple. As you saw that car just kick sideways, and I could have walked my crippled ass between those two. So 15 laps on this current stint. You gotta wonder who's wanting tires right now. Goodrow still showing the way. And unfortunately, not a lot of guys in the TeamSpeak channel tonight. Would like to take a quick moment to let you know that you are watching a presentation of this broadcast being brought to you by Loud Pedal Productions. For all your promotional video needs, you can find Loud Pedal Productions on their Facebook page. This is the H&H Concrete 305 Asphalt Sprint Car Series. And while we are under caution, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that this past week we've lost two very good friends. Sean Wyman and David Zepp have unfortunately succumbed to pulmonary hypertension. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's constricting of the blood vessels in the lungs. And unfortunately for anyone that has it, it masks itself as so many other terminal illnesses and chronic diseases that doctors generally aren't quick to put all the symptoms together. And, well, you have asthma, here, do this, or you have sleep apnea, here's a CPAP machine. And by the time they realize what it actually is, you don't have a lot of time left, and the only real treatment option at that point is a lung transplant. And unfortunately, Bofa Broadcasting has lost two friends this past week to that disease. So we do ask that you go to phaware.org for more information on how you can help combat this illness.
Lights are out on the pace car.
Lights are out on the pace car as we are currently working lap 27 of 100. No stage racing tonight. It's just run it.
Green, green, green.
And the green flies.
And everybody again tiptoeing. As Dale having a little bit of an issue there, has to check up. I believe that was Jamie Russell in the 27 that had to check up there. Nope, that was Jason. Jason Griffith in the 985. These guys are starting to get single file. As Goodrow starting to stretch his legs again out in front, the battles right now are all behind him. As Dale gets right down on the apron, everybody taking evasive action to avoid running him over.
He comes out ahead on that deal.
Well, he didn't lose a ton. Griffith got by him. So, you know, he was good to, you know, only lose that. As here comes Griffith on the inside. I think that peak number 985 is really starting to come to him.
And where are we lap-wise?
Working 33.
Possibly seeing pit stops soon.
Possibility. It all depends on how much fuel these guys took earlier, and if they took tires. So,
What do you figure, about a gallon a lap?
Oh. Wow.
Yellow flag is out.
And he's still bouncing.
And he's still bouncing. That's that was definitely a thank God this is a simulator moment. Got all sorts of crossed up, got net coated through the Brem camp, and then just torpedoed.
I know, I saw him flutter up into the air first, came down, and that's when he got hit. Oh.
Good grief. I dare say we're probably going to see some guys coming down pit road this time to at least get tires.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring. Tires, maybe even fuel, depending on what they took for fuel loads.
It's a possibility.
But 100 laps, so we were 1/3 of the way in, through the race.
Well, the question is, how badly are you abusing your tires? And that's really what it's going to boil down to.
I got to remember, these are only 305 motors, and
right.
Yeah, they probably take half a gallon a lap.
Something like that.
Oh,
but we're going to reach out to Mark Bremkamp now. Mark, what did that look like from your point of view? Hello, Mark. Okay, apparently we don't have Mark.
User was moved out of your channel.
So, unfortunately, there's not a lot of guys up here. We can is he out? Yeah, Jason's back out. Let's I believe the lights are they going out? No, we have one more lap.
User was moved to your
So real
channel.
quick, we're going to reach out to Jason Griffith. Jason, Tony from the booth, you got me, sir.
Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how bad was that from your point of view?
It was pretty bad, you know. I just driving around, get turned, but that's racing, I guess. So we'll go a lap down, but we'll try to get it back.
Well, for what it's worth, there was a lot of net code involved in that one.
Yeah, you can tell there's a lot of glitching going on in here, but I mean, it's what happens on this stuff. But we'll get it.
All right. How bad were the tires after that 30 lapper?
It got slick, pretty slick, but I figured out a good lane to get on, and I was coming up towards the front, and just got turned a little bit.
All right, Jason, we'll let you get back to it as the lights are getting ready to go back out on the pace car.
All right, buddy.
User was moved out of your channel.
Well, there you go.
Back up for the restart.
The tires were getting slick, he said. So.
Yeah, but he's found that sweet spot to run. So.
Yeah, right up until he got turned.
Yeah.
I don't mean to laugh, but that's about all you can do when you're not drinking. So. Getting ready to bring caution number 3 to a close. Goodrow
Green flag.
has
Green
just
flag.
had control of the field since the drop of the initial green.
We go again.
And Dale gets a run on that inside. Oh, hang on to her.
He does.
That was a hell of a save by Bremkamp. So, and he's right. A lot of glitching going on right now, and I'm thinking it has to do with some of the storms that are going on in the area. You know, hopefully, you know, where you are, you're safe, and you know, all that happy. But Carberry slugging it out right now with Bremkamp. That's your battle for 6. It's Carberry in the 7th, Bremkamp in the black and green 78. As these guys are getting slipping and sliding again. Nick Schneider back up into 8th, by the way, as we saw him go on a wild one earlier.
I'm watching these things bounce a bit in the nose.
I'm thinking part of that's the glitching.
Right.
3 wide coming out of turn number 4.
Oh.
That was a pucker moment.
Ooh.
And
Whoa.
Schneider gets
Yellow,
turned.
yellow, yellow.
Oh.
And that car just snapped around.
Well, he had some help.
Yeah.
And that's Schneider in the 116. Going to get the run on the 22 Buffalo Wild Wings of Jackson Bishop, and just hockey-style hip check. And everybody behind him doing a great job to avoid him after the initial couple of shots. And I believe that was Griffith that caught a race car to the face. No, he got it woed down. Who was that? Colin Penn is the one that caught the race car to the face. So Colin caught the initial shot, and then Chris Monroe in the 17 had a left side wheel in his grill, and by grill I don't mean radiator. It was one left side tire to the teeth. You know, Killian, I almost have to think that some of these guys probably are gambling on not having to come back down pit road.
Could be. But will it bite him in the ass?
Well, if we maintain the current state of affairs where we go between 10 and 15 laps and then get a caution to cool the tires off, as you see Goodrow going way to the high side to get that right rear up to where nobody's used it yet. I dare say we've got a chance of doing it. Now, if I was Goodrow, I'd be restarting on the outside because there's no way for Dale, I should say, to see where the hell he is with that wing in the way.
We're working lap 49.
Lap 49 of 100. You are watching a presentation of the Bofa Broadcasting Company. We ask that you don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you like the action that you're seeing, go ahead and drop a comment with your iRacing screen name. We'll get that passed along to league management and see if we can't get you added into the next race for the HH Concrete 305 Sprint Series.
They're forming back up.
They're forming back up, and it looks like Goodrow going to the high side. Or not?
A little disjointed pack here.
Not sure what's going on.
Green, green, green.
And unfortunately, Dale gets shuffled back to third on that one. That inside line got going a whole lot quicker than the outside line did.
Yeah, but he said a lot of the guy in front. Dale said a lot of the guy in front of him.
So
It's
you've
strung
got
out pretty quickly.
Goodrow, Gluchik, Dale, Henry, Russell, your top five, as we are just past the halfway point. And these guys are throwing just a ton of sparks.
Oh. Looks like every once in a while one of them will catch something and just like pulls them out a little bit. Oh.
And there's a ton of net code going on tonight. As from what I just saw, nobody hit Nate Anderson, and all hell just broke loose.
Yeah, that's what happened to him about the corner before that. The car kind of like stuttered. And then, oh!
Ow.
Keeps it pointed in the right direction.
And that was Colin Penn, league owner. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage and see what happened to the 52. Just overcooked it, and the 7 just finished him. Tom Carberry just never came off the trigger. And generally on pavement, if you can see the driver in front of you's left arm,
Yeah.
it's not going to end anything but poorly.
Or you see the left side of his tank.
Yeah. So. Oh, let's see, who do we have right now?
Colin?
Well, I'm not sure if I want to
Yeah.
poke the bear like that.
User was
But
moved to
yeah,
your
we are going to
channel.
poke the bear. Colin Penn, Tony up in the booth, you got me, sir.
Oh, I gotcha.
So, from your point of view, what just happened?
I would like to say I was wrecked, but that's not the case. I just ran out of talent, got in there. I took it a little low in the left front, hooked the apron, and just sent me right around.
Well, I'd like to point out that you're partially right and partially wrong both ways.
What was that? Sorry, you cut out there.
You were partially right and partially wrong both ways. You started it, and Carberry definitely finished it off for you.
Yeah, the coup de
Yeah,
grace.
it's one of those deals. It's what are you gonna do? It's tight racing. I mean, we still got 40 to go, so I'm not too worried about it. We'll come back and we'll figure it out.
Still plenty of time to get back up there. Best of luck to you, Colin.
User was moved out of your channel.
So that's Colin Penn. Not the last car on the lead lap, but he's darn close to it as David Hain got the lucky dog under that caution. Currently showing 19 cars left on the lead lap. Jeff Conover, Nick Schneider retiring from the event.
Really? Only lost 2 cars from the event?
Only lost 2 cars.
Oh. Sorry, I hate saying it that way, but...
Well, here's the thing. I would like to point out that from what I was seeing in hot laps, I was expecting this to be a lot more carnage-filled than it has been. So
behaving themselves out there.
Well, that just, goes to show that the talent of the drivers that made the race tonight of, they're able to, we've only had 5 cautions.
Yeah,
I
really,
was expecting us to have maybe 5 laps of green at this point in the race. And, my hat's off to the entire HH Concrete
green flag.
Asphalt Sprint Series as I wasn't live. Thanks, Sam. So, Jamie Russell getting a run in the 27 on the inside. Does a crossover coming out of 4 as...
less than 40 laps to go.
we are exactly 39 to go right now. Goodrow, Russell, Dale, and Galuchik getting it, just getting freight trained right now on that second lane. Oh, gets it crossed up, chases it down the hill.
Yellow flag is out.
Oh!
Oh, what happened there? It's Bremkamp in the 78. He got crossed up with Galuchik, and then all hell breaks loose behind him. Ow.
I'll have to wait for the replay on that one.
Medic.
Oh. For the car or the driver?
Yeah, and Brian Callahan getting a big piece of that one. He got caught up in the secondary wreck on the backstretch and ends up on his side, so that's going to make a long night for him. And Mike Henry puts it behind the wall. And Colin Penn back in the pits. So 36 laps to go as we are back under the watchful eye of the officials under caution as I believe that was Robert Smith getting back on the lead lap. So we now have 18 cars on the lead lap.
Like everybody's pretty confident they're going to be able to go the rest of the way on fuel.
Well, that's the good news about the 305 crate motors is they just sip the fuel. So you figure you got a 30-gallon tank. That
we got one coming in.
And the number of cautions that we've had have definitely helped. That's Galuchik. And I know I'm not saying that right, and I'm sorry, Derek, but unfortunately, Bud, you're not in TeamSpeak to correct me.
Warming up.
Nah, the lights are still on the pace car. The question is, you gotta wonder. You know he took tires. You know he took rear tires at least. What is that going to do to that car?
I'm wondering how much of a right front is left.
You're not wrong.
Right front's got to be, on these things, they got to be pretty one, because that's taking almost a full load when they transition in the corner.
Well, the lights are off on the pace car as the field's forming up 2 by 2. Goodrow, Russell, Dale, Anderson, Allison, Carberry, Smith, Monroe, Hilton, Griffith, your top 10. So Jason Griffith able to rebound back to the lead lap and get back up into the top 10 currently. So good on him for that one.
Green flag, green flag.
And we are back live. As Anderson gets shuffled back on the high side. Oh, hang on to her, kid. Steve Allison trying to fight back. Gets it 3 wide. And, oh, there it is.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Poor Jason Griffith.
Oh, I saw that coming. I'm sorry.
Oh, I think we all saw it coming. As you see the 20 fighting back, and rather than, letting it go, just unfortunately the 17 nowhere to go. Chris Monroe gets hooked, and everybody behind him pays the price. So the 4 of Smith caught up in that one. Griffith caught up in that one. I believe Robert Smith in the 8 got caught in that one as well.
Big carnage.
Yeah, that was a big junk. Let's watch that one again. No, that happened right in front of him. Or, sorry, right behind him. Okay, that was the 75 going up on a wall right there then.
It was hard to tell. Everybody got tangled right there, and it was like...
Yeah, Wally Beatty actually went down most of the back straightaway on his side. Went high to avoid it and just hooked the right rear on the safer barrier. And unfortunately for him, yeah, that's how that one ended. So,
Not fun.
definitely not fun. And
We're coming up on lap 75.
currently working 73. You are watching a presentation of the HH Concrete 305 Pavement Sprint Car Series. You can find them on their Facebook page. This broadcast being presented by Loud Pedal Productions. For all your promotional video needs, you can find Loud Pedal Productions on their Facebook page. So Trent Goodrow has led all 70 laps.
Orman back up.
Actually, I take that back. He did not lead a couple laps when he went down pit road. but has currently led 70 of the 75 laps. And you got to think about the only way that these guys are going to be able to get by him tonight is to turn him. I hate to say it that way, folks, but that's what it's looking like.
Green, green, green.
Gets a little bit braver as Anderson and Dale bang wheels going across the start-finish line.
Business is going to be picking up here, folks.
Well, we saw Jamie Russell have a hell of a run last week and just got caught up in someone else's dumpster fire, as he is all over the back bumper of Goodrow right now.
Yellow flag is out.
And why?
Yeah, I was just going to ask the same question.
Robert Smith is definitely not looking the healthiest right now. Did he have help? And if so, nope. Well, kinda. Stepped on his own junk, and unfortunately, David Callahan had nowhere to go. Just blap.
Circuit brakes?
No, he didn't have time to hit the brakes.
Oh.
There wasn't that wasn't an ARCA brake moment. That was a I don't have time to hit the brake moment, so I'm just not going to come off the gas.
Oh, ow.
Yeah.
Now I know why I wake up sore the next morning after doing a show, telecast. Because,
All the flinching?
yeah.
Tell Melissa she owes you 2 for flinching. Each time you do it.
Oh.
You'll look like the last guy Mike Tyson beat legitimately.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah. So, anyways, Trent Goodrow currently still showing the way. Jamie Russell, I guarantee you, if it comes down to it, I don't think Russell's going to turn him, because that's not the type of guy Jamie Russell is. He's probably going to rattle his cage, though. And for those of you who don't get the reference, you're not a NASCAR historian. And I don't know if you got the reference or not, Killian. Killian?
Yes.
Did you get the reference?
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of NASCAR history, though, I didn't realize until I was watching a race today, or yesterday, and this weekend was the 25th anniversary of when we lost Alan Kulwicki.
Yeah.
It's been that long. Doesn't seem like it.
Well, you figure Alan won the championship the year that Richard Petty retired. Right. And we lost Alan and a couple of guys off his crew the following spring. So that was a rough year.
And a couple people from Hooters too.
And a couple of higher ups from Hooters.
We're all on the plane.
But yeah, it's a shame that Alan didn't get a chance to defend his championship, because I dare say that he probably would have been one of the all-time greats had he been able to do that. Last independent driver, team owner, and driver all in the same season to win the championship. A little bit of trivia there, folks. As lights are out on the pace car, we're ready to go back to green. 19 laps to go.
Green, green, green.
Goodrow stutter steps. Russell stays with him, though. Oh! See, I told you he was going to rattle his cage.
Pump and run.
Yeah, the only problem is Jamie Russell's too nice of a guy to really make that one go in there any harder than he did. Oh! Holy
Don't fight it
netcode, Batman.
And they're still tumbling.
As Jackson Bishop goes for another wild one.
And we're under caution again, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my goodness. Steve Allison gets blasted again. Jackson Bishop gets blasted again. Carberry just got annihilated. You're about to see this happen right in front of him. And just, good grief. Thank God this is a simulator.
Simulator.
Mean ya.
How many shots are we up to now?
Well, are we doing it one per caution or one per car involved?
We do it one per caution, we're safe.
9. But that was definitely a bad one. Jackson Bishop, that car has definitely seen better days. As Matt Dale bringing it down pit side. Let's take a look at what happened with Matty here. Gets the run on the 27 of Jamie Russell. And we've seen this all night. You know, there's enough daylight for you and I to walk hand in hand between those cars, Killian. And for those of you who've seen both Killian and myself,
yeah,
we're not what you would call svelte.
Yeah, petite.
There you go.
It's not in our vocabulary on our size.
Petite Le Mans.
Not even that. We couldn't even get into one of those petite Le Mans cars.
True story. Sucks getting old, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
Oh man. You know, and that's what we saw last week is you know, guys that had a chance getting caught up in a dumpster fire that was not of their own causing. And you know, unfortunately, Jamie Russell had a shot at it. You know, you could tell he was a little bit quicker than Goodrow. The question is, you know, what's going to happen from here on out? Nate Anderson in the 19, no slouch in that Amsoil number 19. And now Nate, I'm not going to lie, Nate is the type of guy that he'll rattle your cage.
Yeah. Cream.
How should I put this? 2-tap 10. And for those of you from the Northeast know exactly who I'm talking about. Shades of that with Nate Anderson.
Green, green, green.
As Anderson, and look who's back up on the podium right now. And Derek, I do apologize if I've pronounced your name wrong. Get with me later in the week and tell me how to pronounce it for next week.
Yes, please.
But Goodrow, Anderson, Galuchek, your top 3, as we are 9 to go.
Oh!
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
What the hell? Not again.
Oh, he got hooked in. They both turned. They got locked together, and they both turned to the outside wall. Head on in.
Poor Jason Griffith tonight.
He had any bad. Well, he's had bad luck tonight.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to ouch. We're going to start a Patreon to buy something to offer as a sacrifice to whatever deity Jason Griffith that's pissed off. So you can find that on his Facebook page, the GoFundMe to help appease the deity. Because he's pissed off some deity, and I don't know which one. I don't want to know which one because I don't want that deity pissed off at me. But yeah, if that's the type of bad luck that, dude, who'd you piss off?
Yeah. Or who was eating peanuts around your car?
Who was eating peanuts around your car while? No, there you go. Look at the color of his numbers.
Yeah.
He's got the green numbers. That'll do it every time. You know, we joke, but definitely, you know, thank God this is a simulator. It looks like we're going to go back to green with only a handful of laps to go.
I think it's going to be a shootout to the end.
And I would like to point out that when we do go back to green, the next flag ends it. So if you're Nate Anderson, you're hoping you can get to the back bumper of Goodrow, and have something happen. Rattling of the cage, maybe.
Dogs are going.
And you got to kind of wonder with the 21 sitting there on 60 lap newer tires. Does he have a shot at pulling this one off?
Which car had the newer tires?
The 21 has 60 lap newer tires than the two cars in front of him. And it sounds like somebody's trying to burn off some fuel. So that confirms that we're basically going to have a green-white checker here.
Green flag, green flag.
And I'm not live. Cool. Came back just in time to watch the 19 get nailed. And there it goes.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
He was trying to. Let's go back and watch what happened on the restart here. As he and the 19 got together going into one. The 78 of Bremkamp was able to get a run on the high side. 21 fighting it down low. Goes to the inside. 21 runs him down the hill, and Bremkamp just, yeah, no. Hip check. Oh! Poor old Colin Penn just catches another one to the face.
Poor Colin.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Trent Goodrow.
Who's this coming in?
Trent Goodrow with the win. Everybody should be coming in. That's the race,
okay.
my friend.
Oh!
Bremkamp for second. Anderson able to rebound for third. And we're about to see who is left in TeamSpeak. Goodrow not there. Bremkamp is there. Anderson is not there.
User was moved to
So,
your channel.
being as he's the only one in TeamSpeak right now, we are going to reach out to your runner-up there, Mark Bremkamp. Mark, what a finish. Hello, Mark.
Yeah, you got a copy?
I got a copy on you now, sir. What a finish. Walk us through that last restart with you and the 21 there.
You know, that was a hell of a run I had there towards the end. I was burning off as much fuel as I could at under the yellows as much as I could. I was giving it everything I got. I wasn't even lifting those last few laps, but this car came in towards the end of the race, man. I don't know. I had a feeling I had something for Trent, but I don't know. It was coming down to the wire.
Well, with the issue that brought out the last caution, walk us through your side of things with what took place with the 21.
He run me down the hill. It's twice now in the race that he done that. I mean, I'm a little worked up over it, but that was all on him. I had nothing to do with him wrecking. I hate to see that brought out the last yellow and ended the race, but that's all part of racing. It was all fun. It was a hard fought battle all race. I had a couple more incidences in the race where I had to pit to fix damage, and this really got it got going good, and it was a good ending to the race. I can't complain.
Well, Mark, I got to tell you that it was definitely an entertaining race from our standpoint up here in the booth, and the skill at which you guys were able to handle these cars here at Bristol is just mind-boggling. Thank you, Killian. Amazing. The fact that Killian and I have both been here working as crew members on real life race cars, and we know what setup sheets look like for real life open wheel cars, and knowing what iRacing mandates that these cars have, how you guys were able to hang on to these cars as well as you did. The driving skill level in this series is second to none.
Yeah, no, this series it's a hard series. It's tough. I mean, Nick Snyder, he took the championship in our normal season, but he's a hell of a driver. I hated to see him, get put out of the race, but it is what it is. I'm hoping we can do a couple more of these, and I can be up front and take it.
Well, what we're going to do right now is we're gonna reach out to league owner Colin Penn and just go over the same things that we just went over with Mark here. Just the level of skill that the HH Concrete 305 Wing Sprint Series is showing to the masses, especially the iRacing community that has seen what the setup sheets on these cars looks like. How you guys are able to maintain these cars under as much control as you are, as close quarters as you guys do, Colin. We were just talking with Mark that the skill level here is second to none.
Yeah, we got a lot of good guys running with us on a weekly basis. Posted rooms do get a little tougher as far as the racing and stuff like that goes, just because of just people don't have enough laps on the cars. They're a tricky breed of car to drive on the pavement. Sure.
Well, a lot of that has to do with the setup under the car, because like we just mentioned to Mark, Killian and I have both worked on real life race teams at this facility, and knowing what those setup sheets look like compared to what iRacing mandates the setup sheet looks like for these cars, it's there's a lot more skill in these drivers than a lot of people probably give credit for. And speaking of skill, the guy that stunk up the entire show, Trent Goodrow, finally joining us up here in the booth. Trent, congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
Good job, Trent.
So, talk us through what you were hoping to accomplish under that caution. Did you pack it full of fuel, and did you take tires at all?
Yeah, when we had that around the creek like pit stops right at the beginning there, I just came down, put 30 gallons in, and that was it. My whole time on pit road, I stayed out the whole length, didn't take tires, didn't take any more fuel.
All right.
Wow.
That's impressive that you were able to, and we're looking at the stats right now, you were able to go 92 laps on that tank and still have tires under it. Now, granted, a lot of those were unfortunately under caution, but the fact that I'm not sure how much of that you heard, but the skill level that we were seeing tonight was simply amazing. Now, Colin, I do know that this is the last race scheduled for season 1. Moving forward, what are we looking at from here on out?
We're gonna take a couple weeks off. We don't have a for sure set date for the start of season 2, but we will be back for one. I'm thinking probably around late May-ish, maybe early June, somewhere in that ballpark. Get everybody a little bit of a break and decompress a little bit, and be right back at it.
All right. So if you want to get involved in season 2 of the HH Concrete 305 Pavement Sprint Car Series, you can definitely find them on their Facebook page, or just drop a comment below with your iRacing screen name, and we'll get that passed along to Colin to get you added to the iRacing League page. I believe that's going to do it here for Bristol. Trent Goodrow coming home with a win. Mark Bremkamp hanging on for second. Nate Anderson hard-fought third. Chris Monroe survived for fourth. Jamie Russell rebounded for fifth. Wally Beatty in sixth. Steve Allison in seventh. David Hain rebounded for eighth. Matt Dale was able to come back for a top 10, finish ninth. And rounding out your top 10 is Mike Hackett. That is going to do it for us here tonight. Join us tomorrow night as we head to Barber with the Indy Elite Series. Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett going to be in the booth for that one. If I get out of work in time for real life work, I will be joining him. For Mr. Killian Sandalwood, for excuse me, for Killian Sandalwood, for Colin Penn. Wishing again congratulations to Trent Goodrow tonight. This is Tony Trapasso saying we will see you tomorrow night from Barber Motorsports Park.